Welcome to the grit and grind. I'm about to say grit. It's been a long day, y'all. I've been in class all day. It's grit and grind. It's week 1 of the playoffs. I am ready. Welcome to the grit and grind. Darren, we got a big week right here with the grit and grind. What do we got for week 1 of the playoffs?
We got coaches' interviews,
okay,
highlights from last week's game, Northern Nash, Rocky Mount. And we was also able to go to South Granville.
We were able to go to South Granville because South Granville said they didn't hear no bell.
All right.
One more game.
One more game.
Week 1 of the playoffs starts right here on the grit and grind. You are watching the hottest and greatest high school football show in the ENC. Let's go. Playoffs.
Here we go.
Playoffs?
Welcome
Don't
back
talk
to the
about
ground
playoffs.
Right
You kidding me?
Excited.
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
It's playoffs time, and this is what, if you're that team, you've been working for the whole summer to get to this point.
You've been working the whole summer. I think we need to hear from our good friend and let him tell us about these playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
I'm like Jim Moore. I'm just hoping down when I'm in the playoffs, I can win the game. That is either win or go home, Darryl.
That's what it is at this point in time of the season. It's win or go home. There's a lot of teams that got into the playoffs, and then there's some getting ready for basketball season.
Some of them playing basketball.
Yeah, playing basketball.
That basketball hardwood.
Hardwood. But, Shawn, we had a great week last week of games that we want to talk about this week.
Before we jump into rewind, Darryl, not only is some getting ready for basketball, but there's one more thing.
What's that?
Somebody flying to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah, you got to talk about it. Go on and talk about it.
My favorite two friends on the set, they getting ready to take off. They getting ready to bid us a goodbye or au revoir and see us later. See you next season. Patchy and Jolly Roger said it's time for them to head to the Bahamas.
Yep.
And relax a little bit.
Yep.
And get ready.
Yeah,
and
come back next season. So unfortunately, Cornholder wasn't able to make the playoffs this year. But Patchy said, there's always next year.
That's right.
That's what he said.
Patchy said we're going to make somebody walk the play again next year. Darryl, like you said, we got some good games getting to recap. We were able to get all over the ENC on Thursday and Friday. Both nights was high school football. Let's jump into that South Granville versus J.F. Webb. That was for a conference title for J.F.
Yeah,
Webb.
definitely a conference title for J.F. Webb. J.F. Webb came into this game, like you said, conference title. And they started off fast in this game early. You can see right here with J.F. Webb moving the ball. And they was doing some good things up front. And South Granville made some good time plays. Number 4 for them, Thornton, was able to make a play to get things turning the right way for South Granville. And they was able to get the ball down the field and get into the end zone as well. And if you're South Granville, this was a game that you needed to win because you did not know if you was going to be in the playoffs or not, but this is what you wanted to do.
And if you're South Granville, Darryl, like you said, you was on that bubble.
Yeah.
And we talk about that bubble a lot. Could you go in, beat a good J.F. Webb team at your house, big game, lot on the line, and pretty much you were playing to get in, playing to get in.
That's basically
but
what you were
South
doing.
Granville had some good plays throughout that game. J.F. Webb was able to execute and stay in the game, but it just felt like every time J.F. Webb was getting on a good drive, South Granville would find a way to either get a turnover or get them in a long third down where they had a turnover on down.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're South Granville, this is the game that you needed to jumpstart your playoff burst. And lucky for them, they was able to get into the playoffs off of this. But we was also able to talk to some of the players and coaches of South Granville.
Let's go hear from some of the coaching staff of South Granville that night on a big win where they didn't know they were going to get in.
Right.
They thought they were heading to basketball season until they found out on Selection Sunday they had made it in.
Definitely.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. Friday night, no, not Friday night, some Thursday night lights right here in Creedmoor. Tonight, South Granville was able to come in and get a good win against the J.F. Webb team. But right here before we get going, we got to introduce the whole entire coach staff we got tonight. Who we got, Coach?
Coach Richardson, defensive coordinator.
Coach Peace, offensive coordinator.
Antonio Majette, interim head coach.
Coaches. Big game tonight, senior night, Thursday night lights. The entire town of Creedmoor was out. How were you able just to get that defense to stop that high-octane Webb offense?
Well, we knew we had a tough task with the Webb offense. They have 2 outstanding running backs, number 6 and number 0, Josiah McKellis. Those guys are outstanding players. So we knew we were going to have to bring our best tonight. We knew we were going to have to stop the run, have outstanding run fits, and be extremely physical all across the board. We had a great week of practice, and the guys played hard. They knew what was on the line, and they just committed to stopping the run all night. We just knew if we could stop the run, we would give ourselves that great chance to win this game.
And what I want to ask is on the offensive side of the ball, y'all was able to move the ball on them. You had long drives. What were y'all able to do to complement that?
Go ahead, Coach. You want?
So the past couple weeks offensively, we really struggled. You know, we made some mistakes, had some very costly turnovers. It wasn't about the execution. It was just about securing the football. So we really went into this week, and our main focus was to make sure we protected the football. We went with a 2-quarterback approach. We had our senior quarterback, and then we also had a sophomore quarterback. LJ's a senior, Caden's a sophomore, and Caden gives us more of that dual option threat. LJ's more of our leader, our general, and we were able to rotate them well, make big plays. Caden had a very big touchdown run from quarterback. LJ had a huge touchdown pass to seal it, and I'm very proud of him, especially LJ. You know, he's battled some adversity, had some big turnovers in the costly game, and he bounced back tonight on his senior night, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
And for the head coach, we told everybody on the grit and grind, this South Granville team was a good team. Don't let the record fool you. We knew the injury bug played y'all, but you guys play good football. Just tell me, with all the injuries you were able to go through the season, how were you able to keep these guys composure to come in and just continue to play that Viking style of football, what we saw tonight, Coach?
I think one of the key is our coaching staff. We stayed positive. We stayed pressing and stayed on them, and I think that's the real thing that got us through the season.
Coach, once again, congratulations on a hard-fought win tonight right against JF Well. The grit and grind will definitely come back to South Granville because we enjoy being down here in Viking country. Now back to the studio. Daryl, if you're South Granville, like we said, going into the locker room after that game, they didn't know they were going to get in.
They didn't.
They really may have thought. They celebrated like, we beat our rival.
Right.
We stopped them from winning the conference title outright, but shout out to JF Well.
Yeah.
They did win a share of the conference. So shout out our guy, JF Will, Coach Gaten staff over there. But if you're South Granville, that win, like you said, Daryl, it got you in.
It got you in. It was a win that got you in. And that's, South Granville, you live to play another game.
That's it.
And it's a playoff game. But we was also able to talk to some of the players as well.
Yes, this entire team right here was just excited to get a big win because that rivalry between Webb and South Granville is one of the biggest rivals in Granville County. Let's go hear from the Grit and Grind Thursday night players of the game. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind tonight. South Granville plays so good so for the first time on the Grit and Grind. Not two Grit and Grind Thursday night primetime players game, but we got 4 right here. Let's go introduce all these young men from South Granville. Who we got, sir?
I'm Tyler Thorne.
What position?
Running back and linebacker.
Evan Zolo, linebacker, safety.
Caden Curtis, receiver and running back.
LJ Reed, quarterback.
I got to go over to the quarterback, Derek. We got to switch sides. I got to start with the quarterback. Quarterback, hard game tonight. South Granville had to come in, knowing you wanted to win on senior night. Big night, a lot of emotions. How were you able to keep the offense just going down the field and keep converting those first downs when Will just kept sending that blitz on defense?
It all started with the O-line, and when they block good, everything else comes together. And I think we've been through a lot this season, and I think it's a big win for us, and everybody stuck together and fought through the adversity.
Now, where my other quarterback is? Right here. That Wildcat formation. I saw y'all run there. I like that play right there. When you were going that Wildcat, you get on that jet sweep to the right or left. Just tell me, every time y'all got that formation, how were you able to get past that well front four defense?
I mean, it was really because of the O-line for real. They really the ones in the trenches. They the ones who block it and stuff, and my running backs as well. So I own it all to them.
And on the defense side of the ball, y'all was able to stop JF Webb running game. What was the mindset coming in this week as far as in practice and what the coaches was telling y'all to get ready for?
Just listen to our coaches and follow our guards. It all comes from practice and, trying our hardest and bringing us together.
All right.
We want to let everybody know we enjoy being down in South Granville tonight. And for anybody that's coming to South Granville to play the Vikings, when you come to Viking country, they hit hard, they run hard, and that's how they get dubs. Now back to the studio. That's the South Granville team.
Yeah, it's a good.
Playing with pride.
Playing with pride, and you saw the players there. And one of the players, number 11, Evans, he had over 14 tackles in that game, and we was able to interview him on our Instagram page. So you can go to Greek and Grind Podcast NC and see that interview. But Shawn, again, we talking about South Grenville was able to get into the playoffs, but also with J.F. Webb. Last year's team was 4-7.
That's
this
right.
year's team turned around, goes 7-3. Coach Gainey had those guys playing well, and like you said earlier, they won their conference, and this was a big milestone for them.
It is
coming in this season, going 7-3 as well.
and 4-1 in conference.
Yeah, 4-1 in conference.
If you're South Granville, you feel good because, like we said, you needed that win to get in. It got you over the hump. But Daryl, not only did we go by South Granville and J.F. Webb on Thursday night, Friday night we turned the lights back on and we traveled all over the ENC trying to catch some of the greatest games that were going. It was so many rivalries. We told everybody it was rivalry week on the grit and grind. So Daryl, let's go down to Golden Dome Stadium to see Hunt and Fike and hear from our good friend, the winning coach that night, Coach Juan Jackson, who was able to get his Warriors a win 50-34 over a good Fike team led by Coach Rocky. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind Friday night prime time. Know our marquee game of the week right here, Fike versus Hunt. Hunt on the road tonight was able to win 50-34 in the Golden Demons. The winning coach, Coach Jackson, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
On bringing that Wilson County title back to Hunt one more time. Coach, a big win like this for Hunt. What does it mean get ready to head into the playoffs, Coach?
Well, luckily we get a bye week and we get to rest those bumps and bruises because it was a physical game tonight. We knew that coming in. Intense rivalry, so, great football play tonight.
And, Coach, like you said, it was an intense game. What was it, the mindset y'all had coming into this game this week, practicing, getting prepared for this game?
Well, unfortunately, it was inclement weather this week, so we didn't get to get outside, but one day. We were inside 2 days, so preparation was a little sloppy, and it showed tonight in a few of our penalties and alignment. A couple times we didn't have enough guys on the field, so, I told them today, rain, hell, sleet, or snow, don't nothing stop the Mojo Show. We going outside.
Grit grind nation, you just heard Coach Juan. Rain, sleep, or snow, don't nothing stop that Mojo Show. Coach, congratulations on the hard-fought win. We'll be seeing Hunt in the playoffs. Now back to the studio. We just heard about our good friend, Daryl.
He said it best.
Rain, hell, sleet, or snow, don't nothing stop that Mojo Show.
Hey, you got to keep that mojo going when you're going into the playoffs.
You do, and you got to have your guys locked in because a good Fike team, a game that don't look at the score and think it was a blowout.
Right.
Fike got back in this game. This is why it was one of our marquee games because we knew it was going to be a big game. Fike got back in it, but Hunt was just able in that fourth quarter to do what Hunt does best.
Yeah.
Capitalize on a mistake and score a touchdown.
And that's it. And that Hunt defense showed up for them.
Man, they showed up.
Guys that we talked about all season with Dickerson, Harris, and so
Just
forth,
all the
just
guys
showed up and was able to, get a good stop for that defense side of the ball.
Well, Daryl, let's go hear from our Grit and Grind Friday night marquee players of the game. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind Friday night marquee game. Hunt able to come into Golden Demon Stadium and win 50-34. We got the players of tonight's game. I'm just going to go around and let all these young men from Hunt introduce themselves and what position they play.
Mez Harris, QB and safety. CJ Dickerson, D-line.
Randy James, DN.
Judah Harris, inside linebacker and DN.
Jamarius Howard, safety.
I got to start with the safety first. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 tonight, right? 4 interceptions tonight. Tell me, how does it feel to get 4 interceptions on a big rivalry game like this tonight?
It feels great. I did not expect to come out and get 4 interceptions tonight. Just came to play football.
Now, getting a good win tonight at Golden Demon Stadium on their senior night, how does it feel getting a good win over here, getting ready to rest up for the playoffs coming up?
Man, it's the best thing that we could have got this season. We playing for it all week. We knew what we were coming into. We knew the type of game it was going to be, and we just playing it out and came in strong, finished strong.
You guys got to bye before you get ready to go into playoff plays. That's how it looks at the projections right now. How does it feel now getting a week off the rest, recover, get ready, and then get ready to start this playoff run for the Mojos?
I feel great. We worked all season. We went 8-2. We deserve it.
CJ, I told everybody, if you run through the middle, this is the man you're going to meet right here if you run through the middle. CJ, big game night for you on that defense side. Just tell me, how does it feel getting a good win tonight in Fike?
I mean, it feels amazing. Rivalry game, stakes is high, atmosphere chippy. Just came out there, we're doing, got to do.
And to the quarterback, The general of the team right here on the offense. Whenever they need you to come through for a big play, Mez always finds a way to make a big play. Mez, how were you able to keep that offense under composure? Playing in a tough stadium, because this is a hard place to play in. I myself play here, and it's hard to play in Golden Eagle Stadium when you come here on the road.
I've been a team player. Have a team behind me. I was being selfless. Yeah.
Congratulations to the Hunt, Grit, and Grind marquee players of the game. Now back to the studio, and guys, we'll be seeing y'all in the playoffs. Those Hunt Warriors, they get a bye week.
They get a bye week this week, and just like Coach Jackson was saying, this is what you need to get refocused and so forth. So shout out to Warren Hunt for getting a good win in this game.
Good win for Hunt right there. Like I said, securing that 1 seed in the East in 5A, getting that bye week now to have an extra week of preparation before they start their journey in the playoffs. Yeah. Well, Daryl, now it's time to go to the Grit and Grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week where we were at also on Friday night. For not only that, the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship was on the line. The Northern Nash Knights were able to beat Rocky Mount 31-18. A good game between both teams where two halves told two different stories.
Yeah, definitely. You see Northern Nash coming out, and like you said, Rocky Mount scored first. Number 18 for Rocky Mount Barnes got into the end zone. But Northern was still moving the ball up front with Eatman and Mayfield, Lynch.
Yes.
Those guys was playing good. And in that first half, like you said, it was back and forth. I think at halftime it was 12-17. But second half shows up. Northern Nash starts flexing the muscle a little bit and start getting into the end zone. But Rocky Mount was right there, Shawn.
They win the game the entire game, Darryl. You talk about a team that just didn't quit. Hit Northern Nash with everything they could hit them with. But like you see right there, Miles Eatman on another hard run. Every time Rocky Mount felt like they had Northern in the right position, Northern just explodes on one of those big plays like that just keeps their chains moving for the Knights.
And that's what they was able to do. But like you said, Rocky Mount was right in this game to the end, and it was one of those typical Rocky Mount Northern Nash games.
It goes to the wire.
Yeah, it goes to the wire, and Northern Nash was able to come out with that win 31-18 and becoming
Grit and Grind. Nash County Champions right here.
And conference.
Yes, they winning the conference
and winning
for 6A.
the conference this year.
Well, Darryl, let's go see the trophy presentation presented by yourself and me for the Grit and Grind Nash County Championship 2, the reigning and defending back-to-back Grit and Grind Nash County Champions, your Northern Nash Knights. Congratulations for being the first team in Nash County to go back-to-back Nash County Northern Nash, Darryl.
Yeah.
Back-to-back Grit and Grind Nash County Championships. Something that this team talked to us about the first week when we were down there when they played James Rose. After the game, the kids said, we want to defend our Grit and Grind title.
Yeah,
and we want to bring it back to Northern Nash.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a check on the checklist because they did that.
And they got a bye this week to get prepared for next week, their first round of the playoffs.
Yes.
And so, Northern Nash was able to accomplish what they wanted, conference championship and also the Grit and Grind Nash County champs.
And Coach Ferris said during the interview segment, he said this meant so much to him to see them win this title because it meant so much for the community, for Northern Nash. This title now for them has become something that they start talking about in spring of some OTAs. Not only do we want to win our conference, win all our games, protect the house, but we want to also keep defending our Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. So big win for the Northern Nash Knights over there at Death Valley. Now, Darryl, it's time to find out who was this week's Road Warriors of the Week. When I think of the Road Warriors, Darryl, you got to think about a team.
Yeah.
They go on the road.
Okay.
Go somewhere it's hard to win at.
There you go.
And the first thing to come to my mind.
What you got?
I said in the interview, I played in that stadium. Well, not for that team, but I played in that stadium before. It is a hard place to play in. The crowd gets going. They blowing the horn on Ward Boulevard. Hey, when Fike scores a touchdown, you hear that cannon. And hey, shout out to my cousin that played for Fike. Because he told me that cannon means another successful drive for the Golden Demons. But this week's Road Warriors for me, is the Hunt Warriors able to go in fight, beat a rival gang, and continue that dominance of now winning 2 seasons back-to-back when Fike for a long time.
Yeah, we're going to say
was on a good stretch winning
this game. So shout out to Hunt Warriors for being the Road Warrior this week.
Hunt Warriors, outstanding job being this week's Grit and Grind Road Warriors of the Week for the Grit and Grind. Darryl, we'll get ready to hop into a commercial break. and then we'll be back right here for everybody's favorite segment on the Grit and Grind, their progress report.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind, and it's time for my favorite segment of the week right here, the progress report. It's time to see who is moving up in the playoffs, and as Daryl said earlier, who's playing basketball in the playoffs. Yeah. Daryl, I got my list ready, and I am ready to go ahead and give it to you. Let me go ahead and get it right in my honorable mentions, please. J.F. Webb, Princeton, Southern Nash, Rocky Mount, Wilson Prep, and guess what? Buck Sweet Sports. My boy, Buck Sweet Sports, them horses, Clinton. Okay. I got all them on my honorable mention list, Daryl. All of these teams are playing good. Southern Dash, bye week. Yep. Rocky Mountain, bye week. Wilson Prep, they won their conference. Clinton got back to the playoffs. Had not been in the playoffs two seasons.
Been in the playoffs
got back in. J.F. Well won to share their conference. Princeton had to win some games to get to a playoff game. Those are my honorable mentions right here. So let me go with number 5, Daryl. Who we got right here? Bam! Lewisburg and Sanderson.
Okay.
The Bird.
Okay, Lewisburg, I give you that. That's a good one.
The Bird.
Yeah.
Good team.
Good team.
Won some
Lewisburg
games.
And Sanderson.
And guess what, Daryl? They didn't win their conference. They dropped the last two.
Right.
Lost against Bun and Bun. Lost against Wade Prep. But guess what? They get a bye week. High seed. Sanderson, same thing. A good team over there. Coach Buck got them playing good football.
Yeah.
And the thing with Sanderson, why they made the list is, you know why?
Yeah.
You have a hard non-conference schedule.
Well, that's what I'm going to say.
You win those games.
Yep.
And it helps out in conference if you don't win a few conference games because your hard non-conference schedule gets you in. That's my number 5. Number 4, bam, give it to me. Bun, Roseville, and Warren County. I'm going to start Warren County first. Okay. I need 2 minutes. DJ, did you hear me? DJ, they bad. I was told that I took Warren County off the list. Warren County is playing good football. The hottest team in 2A football right now. Warren County. Roseville is scared right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why they're scared, Daryl. Roseville is on a hot streak. They're winning games. And I always say a team that come in hot in the playoffs is a scary team. Then I got to give it to Bun, Daryl. They won the conference. Good team.
Definitely a good team.
You come to Wildcat Stadium, you better be ready to strap and play football.
You better be ready.
Number 3, give it to me. 71st, Cleveland, Southeast Raleigh. All 7A schools. 71st, we ain't got to say nothing. They won their conference.
Okay.
Good team. Cleveland lost to Clayton.
Right.
In Clayton. Tough place to play at. We've been to a Clayton game. Very loud. Got to give a shout out to my boy Brian. He said we better show Clayton some love this week. Hey, we showing some love on the show right here.
They got a good win last week. Got a good win. Definitely got a win.
Southeast Raleigh. Don't sleep on Coach Campbell Bulldogs, Southeast Raleigh. This is a team that can get to the 3rd, 4th round of the playoffs. Don't sleep on them. They're a good team. Number 2, let me get it right here, Daryl. Bam!
Okay.
The best team is 6A, 5A right here in our district over here. Those Northern Nash Knights and those Hunt Warriors. You can flip Hunt, Northern Nash, Hunt. Northern Nash beat Hunt, but Hunt won the 5A conference. Hunt's playing good football. Hunt right now is a team that is scary good.
Yeah.
If I had to play the Warriors in the playoffs, I'm worried.
Yeah, I'm definitely
If I got to play Northern Nash in the playoffs,
I'm kind of worried about
I'm
both
worried.
These teams.
Now let me get my number 1 right here. Bam! 3 best teams. The road for the playoffs go to all 3 of these teams.
Okay.
2A, it go to Tarboro, the land of Valhalla. Cut the light on for you.
Got the light on?
Cut the light on for you.
Lights on.
Millbrook, 8A, the road through the playoffs goes through Millbrook.
Just outstanding.
7A Clayton, the road through the playoffs goes through Clayton and East. Those are my top, not 5, my 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Those are my top 25.
Top 20.
My top 25 on the Grit and Grind. My top 25.
Right,
Let me hear yours.
All right, my honorable mentions. I'm going to just go ahead and get started with mine. I'm going to go with J.F. Webb, Lewisburg, Southern Nash, Rocky Mount, and Enlow. Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Let's start with number 5. My number 5 has been in my top 5 all season long, and that's Warren County and Southeast Raleigh. Warren County's been playing some good football. like you said, best two-way school team.
How's two-way school right now?
Right now. So Warren County and Southeast Raleigh Bulldogs.
They can get to that third, fourth round
against Cleveland.
They play good.
One play here or there could have went a different way. So
that's scary.
Number 4, I'm going Bun. Bun has done what they were supposed to do. Bun came back from last season to this season.
It's a brand new team.
Brand new team, won the conference, took care of business, beat the rivals. Bun, number 4. Matter of fact,
Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie.
Don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
Number 3, Northern Nash Clayton.
Okay.
Yeah, Northern Nash Clayton. You already talked about these two teams. There's nothing else we need to say. It's two tough teams to play right now.
They tough to play it.
All right, my number 2 is going to be 71st and Hunt.
Your second lose.
Second lose.
It's time to Warren County 71st.
Warren County 71st, but 71st has just been taking care of business all season long.
Nobody talking about them.
And ain't nobody. They just quietly taking care of business, doing what they're supposed to do. And that Hunt team is just a hot team right now.
I'm scared to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I would definitely be scared. And then my final is going to be Tarboro, Millbrook, and Cleveland. Same squads that you just talked about. These teams just have been taking care of business all season long. So this is my number 1 teams that I was looking at going into this playoffs this season.
You just heard me and Daryl's top 5 right here. Our top 5, top 25 teams right here, ending the season, heading to the playoffs. Make sure you go in the comments, drop down who you think should be 1 through 5 of your honorable mentions so we can get some chatter going on, because we would love to see where you place these teams at on your bracket sheet. You're watching The Grit and Grind right here on Studio 67. We'll get ready to hop into a commercial break, and then we will be back to find out who was this week's Coach Martin Lee Player of the Week. You're watching The Grit and Grind.
You're now watching The Grit and Grind on Studio 67.
Discover your purpose in science. Determined to help others heal. Ignite your purpose through culinary creativity. Fuel your purpose in technology and innovation. Your purpose starts here at Nash. Visit nashcc.edu.
Watching Grit and Grind on Studio 67. Go Knights!
We want to thank the Rocky Mount and the Northern Nash Cheerleaders for bringing us back and taking us out for this week's Grit and Grind. We appreciate them so much for doing that for the Grit and Grind. Now it's time to find out who was this week's Coach Martin Lee Player of the Week. Daryl, who was that Grit Player of the Week?
Shawn, this week's Grit player is coming out of Creedmoor, North Carolina. South Granville, number 4 linebacker, Tyrell Thornton. Tyrell is that playmaker on that defensive side of the ball. And just like right now, as we're talking, he made a play to where he got the interception to run it back almost for a touchdown. But Tyrell has just been playing great defense for the Vikings. He's that guy that sets the tone on the defensive side of the ball for them. So again, Shawn, this week's Grit player is coming out of South Granville Vikings, number 4, Tyrell Thornton. Shawn, who's that Grind Player of the Week?
The Grind Player this week comes out of K-Town, which is Kinston, Tyler Jones, and Tyreek Cooper. Both of these young men have been the reason why Kinston is in the playoffs this year. Tyreek has caught for 1,523 yards and 21 touchdowns, and the quarterback, Tyler Jones, has thrown for 2,901 yards and 35 touchdowns. Both of these two young men is the reason why that Kinston explosive offense almost shot Tarboro in the conference championship game when they played Tarboro. We want to thank Tyreek and Tyler Jones and Tyreek Cooper for being this week's Grit and Grind Players of the Week. You watch the Grit and Grind on Studio 67. We're getting ready to hop into a commercial break, and then we'll be back for the Grit and Grind Marquee Game of the Week and to find out who was this week's Grit and Grind Fan Choice Primetime Game of the Week.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Shout out to the South Granville Vikings for bringing us back in this week. We appreciate you, South Granville. Daryl, big games right here. Week 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
A lot going on. A lot of teams got buys this week,
yeah.
but we got a lot of teams that's playing some good football that's trying to continue their season on for football. So let's go to that first game in our marquee games. 3-7 Nash Central versus 2-8 Roanoke Rapids. Two teams that play hard non-conference schedules.
Definitely played, and they just played each other a couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
these two teams. And we had an opportunity to talk to both of the coaches about this game.
Let's go hear from Coach Lee, head coach of the Nash Central Bulldogs, and he's getting ready to play Roanoke Rapids. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner this week, playoff edition. And with us there, we have our good friend, head coach Chris Lee, head coach of the Nash Central Bulldogs. Coach Lee, welcome back to the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner, sir.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Coach Lee, getting ready to play that Roanoke Rapid team. It seems like Roanoke Rapid and Nash Central always meet in the playoffs every year. So pretty much what's been the preparation this season, getting ready for this game this week that you've been doing?
Well, that's sort of unfortunate that we have to play a conference team again. I think that's twice in the last 3 years. I wish the state could work a way around that, but we just go back and look at old film from previous times we played them. 3 weeks ago, I think we played them, and then we got their last couple of films. So we just been looking at film and just trying to work on ourselves, trying to get better every day.
And Coach, as far as getting ready for the playoffs, what is some of the things that y'all have done as a coaching staff to get players ready to get refocused on this run throughout the playoff season?
Well, as you know, this has not been our most successful year in the last few years here. So we told them Friday night after the game, after a good win for us, that starting Monday, everybody was 0-0. So it doesn't matter how bad your record is or how good it is. Everybody's the same at this point. So we're just going to go out and compete Friday, and hopefully we can get a W.
Coach, without giving up the X's and O's, like you said, you got tape on Roanoke Rapid. You played it 3 weeks ago. What's something this week you're going to do to get the team prepared for this playoff game?
Well, we still got things to work on ourselves. We're really young all the way around this year with all the injuries we've had. We've had to bring up a lot of sophomores and freshmen. So we're still working on fundamentals every day. The extra week of practice for the playoffs is going to be beneficial to them guys. And hopefully, if we can get a win this week, they'll get another week of practice. And, our JV season ended early. So these guys have been practicing probably 4 weeks now just as a varsity, not having to split time varsity and JV. So they've got a lot of good work in the last month or so.
Well, Coach Lee, we appreciate you stopping by the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner. Best of luck to you and the Nash Central Bulldogs on Friday night in round 1 of the playoffs. And, Coach, we'll be checking in on Friday night to see how the Bulldogs are doing.
Hey, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Daryl, we just heard from our good friend, Coach Lee.
Coach always good to hear from Coach Lee.
He's getting his Bulldogs ready.
Yeah. And
they get a home game.
They got a home game. And
at the Dog Pound.
At the Dog Pound. And like he was saying, you go back, look at some old film to get prepared for this. But it also gives you some extra practice time for those younger players from the JV squad to come in and, help you out. But also, Shawn was able to talk to the Roanoke Rapids head coach.
Let's go hear from my other good friend, Coach Lyons, head coach of the Roanoke Rapids Yellow Jackets, as he gets ready to come in and play the Battle I-95 and run it back. Welcome to the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner. This week, our playoff edition. Daryl, we got our good friend, head coach, Coach Lyons, out of the Roanoke Rapids Yellow Jackets. Coach Lyons, welcome back to the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner.
Hey, guys. I appreciate you guys having me again.
Coach, we're glad to have you here with us right here, Coach. And it seems like today, when we were looking at the brackets, Nash Central and Roanoke Rapids always kick off the playoff round 1 every year for the past 2-3 years, Coach.
Well, one of my coaches said it was destiny before the season even started. We should have seen film already that it was going to happen this week. So, yeah, it was 2 years ago we went there, and they were really, really good, and we weren't, and took a little butt kicking. And this year it just so happened to be right there even with each other with the 15 seed and 18 seed. So hopefully it'll be a little bit closer than it was 2 years ago.
Well,
Coach, as far as getting prepared for this game, what are some of the things that you and your coaching staff has seen that, y'all just played them a couple weeks ago that y'all can use coming into this playoff game?
So, look, I'm very familiar with Nash Central and Coach Lee. So my first year teaching, I was in Rocky Mount at Rocky Mount Middle School, and I actually coached at Nash Central under Coach Lee. and Coach Cox, their defense coordinator. Those guys were there when I was there, so we're very familiar with each other, and we talk a lot throughout the season. He's been through what we've been through. He's so banged up and have had so many injuries. We were pretty much comparing each other all year, talking about how many injuries we got and all the things we're going through. And it's been one of those years for both of us. But, yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with how they do things, and those are two great guys. Those guys I named. Coach Lee's a great coach and runs that wing T and runs it well. We actually talked after our game a few weeks ago, and I told him, I said, hold on. I said, whoever the football coach was who created the play Sally 100 years ago, I wish that person was never born, because he probably ran that 10 times, 15 times on us, and every time we got 5 guys in the backfield and they just pop it loose. So, you know, it's no secret with him. He wants to, you know, ground and pound and get in that wing T, and they're big up front. They've got number 59. He actually won the Defensive Player of the Year in our league, but he is just as good on the offensive side. And they're, you know, they're trying to get behind him and run the ball and kill that clock and keep your offense off the field. It's a good recipe.
Well, Coach, right now, giving up the X's and O's for the game on Friday night. Just what's the mental preparation this week, getting the guys ready to play Nash Central?
Just trying to get them to believe. You know, I wish, I told Coach Lee this, I wish we would gotten somebody else, just because, you know, teenagers, if you lose to somebody and you know, the belief of going and beating them it may not be there. And I don't ever know how the kids are feeling. And usually I can tell by how we've practiced. And we've had 2 good days of practice. We had a really good day today. Hold on. But, you know, I keep telling them and stressing them that it was 21-20 at halftime, and we were up last game. And we were right there, and it was a good ball game. And then the second half, we couldn't stop them, stop their run, and they were stopping us, and they went and won by 4 touchdowns, I think it was, 3 or 4 touchdowns. So, you know, just trying to get the kids to believe. We were right there. We just got to come out in the second half and continue, put a whole game together, not just one half, and just fly around and make plays.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you stopping by the Grit and Grind Coaches Corner for this week's playoff edition. Best of luck to you, Coach Line, and the Yellow Jacks on Friday night. And the Grit and Grind definitely be checking in on that game on Friday night. Thank you for stopping by, Coach.
Thank you, guys. I apologize for the interruptions. But
hey, we know.
That's what we like, Coach. That gives the show authenticity right there. Daryl, we just heard from Coach Line and the assistant coach.
Hey, the assistant coach.
Assistant coach called the play. He write out plays for us. Daryl, good game right between both these teams. Like we said, wish they did not have to always play each other round 1 of the playoffs. Be good if they could maybe play in round 2 or round 3. Right. Give them both a chance to go on a good run. But it's here, and Coach Lee, he going to run the wing T.
Yeah.
And Coach Line said, we're going to do what we got to do to stop that wing T and slow down that Nash Central game. Daryl, it's going to be a good game right there that we'll definitely keep an eye on right there.
On that game.
Now our next game will be 5-5 Green Central versus 5-5 Wallace Rose Hill at the Dog Pound.
Yeah, this is going to be a big-time game for Green Central playing Wallace Rose Hill.
This is the measure stick game.
That's it. It's a measure stick game. And we was able to get contact with the head coach.
Let's go hear from our good friend, head coach Jay Wilson out of Green Central. Welcome back to the Grit and Grind Coach Corner. It is playoff week, and Daryl, we had to go get our good friend that we met this season, head coach of the Green Central Rams, Coach Wilson. Welcome to the Grit and Grind's Coaches Corner, and welcome to the Grit and Grind's Playoffs Coaches Corner this week.
Oh man, I'm happy to be here. You know, when you say you're in the playoffs, that's a good thing. So, you know, I'm definitely, you know, excited and you know, thank you for the invite. You know, love it. So I'm ready to talk a little ball and talk some playoffs and let's have a good time.
Coach, like you said, when you get a chance to get in the playoffs, some teams don't get in. Some teams get in. It's always a big accomplishment. Some of you always check off on the bucket list during those spring and summer OTAs, having a good season, getting that playoff game on your belt into the season. So just tell me, let's talk about the season a little bit with Green Central. You guys had a good season, got some good running backs over there. Let's hear a little bit about that team in this season.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we started off hot. You guys were able to cover us at Wilson Prep. You know, you guys did a great job. You know, we ran into some really tough teams, played some really good ball games, lost by 1 on the last second missed field goal against Kinston. We took Farmville down to the wire. over there, which is always a hard place to win. We ran into that juggernaut, Tarboro. So we've had some ups and downs, but the guys have stayed true to it. We got in, we worked every week. We come in as a 17th seed, travel down to Wireless, and like you say, we check off one of those boxes. At the beginning of the season, hey, every year we got to make the playoffs. We want to be a playoff team, and here we are. And like I told the guys last Friday, now all that other stuff, that 10 games, they out the window. Everybody's 0-0. Your record coming in doesn't matter. It's win or go home. So it's what you want to do with that.
And that's what I wanted to ask you, Coach. Just like you said, everybody's 0-0. How do you get your team ready to get refocused? Because, like you said, you had spring ball, summer ball, going into the season. Now we're talking playoffs. How do you get that team refocused to get ready to make this run in playoffs?
I mean, I just tell them, I say, everything that you did starting basically last February, when I got you out here for track and we did football a couple of days and we did spring ball. I said, everything you've done since February is now coming to pass. And so everybody's on the same plane. Nobody gets to, bring their victories in or their points in. All the stats don't matter. So, whatever mistakes that you made, we've had time to correct them. Now let's go play a football game. You're playing somebody, luckily this year, we're playing somebody that we haven't played before, which is always great. And so you just get in there and like I say, it's one and done or one and move on. So how much more do you want to play? I'm personally not ready to start shooting basketball yet. So, I want some more weeks of football.
Well, Coach, you said it. You got a good team. You get ready to go play Wallace Rose Hill. Good team right there. Old school team. A lot of heritage behind them. State championship appearances, state championships. How are you getting the boys ready this week for this big game with Wallace Rose Hill? Anything changing in the mentality of getting for preparation or something different without giving up the X's and O's of the game strategy?
Well, I mean, the good thing is, I think this year they kind of moved from the wing tee. And from what we've seen on film, they're running like a version of the single wing. And, we played Martin. Martin was running the single wing at the time. We played Tarboro, which was a super heavy run team. Even Fargo jumped into a heavy wing, got a single wing type, scat back. So we've seen that offense before. Maybe not the way that they do it, but we've seen it before. So the guys are prepared. We've had some weeks of preparation for a heavy run. We kind of see what they do on defense. So, like I say, I said we've seen it. So now we're ready for it, and we just got to go play football.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. You just heard from our good friend, Head Coach Wilson. Head Coach Green Central Rams with Coach Wilson. We weren't able to get up with the head coach from Wallace Rose Hill. Our time we were not able to work it out, but we definitely will be able to look at this game. And if you're Wallace Rose Hill, Daryl, and I'm coaching on Friday night, this is what I'm telling my guys. We're playing a good Green Central team.
Yeah, definitely playing good.
We need to establish the run like we do best.
Yeah.
We need to make sure we play balance and just play good defense.
That's it.
And don't get beat by that good Green Central run game. Because Green Central has an outstanding run game with those backs that Coach Wilson has over there.
And if I'm Green Central, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, sir.
Running my players, running those running backs, because you got two good running backs over at Green Central. And then just defense, bend, don't break attitude.
That's it.
Because you don't want to get Wallace Rose Hills in a rhythm to where they're getting the ball down the field. You want to just, be able to keep it close and give yourself an opportunity to win this game. So,
good game right here that we'll be definitely keeping our eyes on right there. I got to pick.
Definitely got to pick on this.
I got to say, for what, Daryl? They quit pick.
That's it.
Our next game is the Grit and Grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week, but not only was it the Grit and Grind prime time game of the week, it was the Grit and Grind Fans' Choice game of the week. We had 4 games that we put out on the poll on our Instagram, Grit and Grind Podcast NC, where we let the fans pick where they wanted to see us go. And when we closed the poll last evening, we also left it open a little bit earlier today to get a few more votes. The winning game was the 6-4 Enlow Eagles versus the 6-4 Catamounts of Panther Creek. So that's the game where we'll be going at this week, right here for the Grit and Grind Primetime Game of the Week. Daryl, both of these teams coming in 6-4. Both of these teams have played good football. We weren't able to get coaches' interviews because we didn't know which one was going to win. So we didn't want to go through and get all the coaches' interviews. But we're going to give you a breakdown of what we think the keys to victory are for this game. Daryl, if you're Enlow, we've seen Enlow play.
Yeah.
Good team.
Definitely good
Panther
team.
Creek, we've seen a lot of them on film with Instagram and stuff they put out us. if you're Panther Creek, Daryl, what are the keys to victory?
If I'm Panther Creek, the first thing I'm looking at is slowing down that run,
Yes.
that run game of Enlow. And that starts with number 4, White, and number 20, Johnson. Those two guys combined has got over 1,500 yards rushing for this past season. And I got to slow that running game down because you get those two guys going.
It's hard.
It's hard to stop. We saw them up front when we went to see them play
Broughton, yes.
And those guys are some straight-up ballers. So that's my first thing if I'm Panther Creek is stopping the run. And then on defense, Enlow's got some good guys on defense.
Got some ballers.
And you got to sustain drives. You got to keep things going. And you got to get into a rhythm if you're Panther Creek because you don't want it to be where you're 3 and out.
Yes.
Because this Enlow defense has stopped you. You want to have good drives down the field. So if I'm Panther Creek, I'm establishing my run, my game plan as far as moving the ball down the field and getting into the end zone. So those are my keys, is slowing the run. That's the number one thing, is slowing down Enlow's running game. But if you're Enlow,
I'm coming in on the road, Daryl, and this is a hard place to play at Panther Creek. A good team, a good defense up there at Panther Creek. Enlow is battle-tested. Played some good teams in that conference. Broughton, Roseville, Millbrook. Play those good Raleigh teams. They're battle-tested. They're 6-4 for a reason. If I'm Enlow, we saw him play that Broughton game.
Yeah.
And we saw Enlow play one of the most balanced games. I'm going to go ahead and give an award out right here. Enlow and Broughton won my grit and grind prime time game of the season, best game that I watched.
Okay.
I enjoyed that game right there.
All right.
Both teams played good in that game, but Enlow played a very balanced attack in that game. They controlled the running and they controlled the pass, and they mixed it up a lot. And in high school football as a coach, that's what you want to do. You want to keep that defense on their toes. Now, watching Panther Creek on tape, they like to rush a lot of people on their defense. So Enlow has to stay balanced. And it goes back to what you just said, Daryl, what Panther Creek need to stop.
Yeah.
Slow the run down.
Yeah,
if you're Enlow, you need to establish that run game. You need to establish it. And when you establish it, it opens up those pass lanes where you can run some play action, you can run some bootlegs, you can run some sweep plays, some draw plays, some option plays. It opens that up in that Enlow's playbook. Enlow is a good team. They just got to have that bend, don't break defense mentality. And you're playing at Panther Creek, you got to take the crowd out.
You definitely got to do that.
That's a hard one to do up there, but you got to take them out. I got to pick on that game, Daryl.
Definitely got to pick on this.
I got to say for the quick pick.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting ready to jump into a commercial break, and then we will be giving you our round 1 playoff edition picks right here on the Grit and Grind.
Nash Community College offers welding technology as a degree, diploma, or certificate. In this 5-semester program, students learn how to draw and read blueprints, the welding process, and welding safety. Students develop and master their skills in the classroom environments and real-world situations in NCC welding shops. With this degree or certificate, students can work as welders in a variety of fields such as construction, fabrication, and industrial maintenance. Most NCC graduates start out as entry-level technicians or welding apprentices working within the community. For more information on welding at Nash Community College, visit nashcc.edu or call 252-451-8270.
Welcome back to the Grit and Grind. It is time for the round 1 playoff edition right here on the Grit and Grind. Daryl, we got so many good teams playing.
So many good teams.
But before we make these picks, Daryl, let's see how we did last week on our picks.
And these are final picks too,
These
right?
are final inquiry. 11 weeks of domination. This is the first time ever. Now,
I'm going to say this is the first time.
I won last season. Don't forget that I won. But he had 1 week that he won. But this year right here, I sweep them 11-0, put the broom on them. I keep telling you, better listen to me when it comes back these picks. Let's see the overall.
Overall, where we at?
Hey, let me get on camera one. Let me get on camera one. Tarboro, Northern Nash, whatever you want me to make him do, the first week of Grit and Grind 2026. Get on Grit and Grind Podcast CNC, send us a DM, or go in the chat right here in the comment box and drop it down. Because either he's going to be wearing that Northern Nash jersey, that Tarboro jersey, whatever you want me to do. Just let me know. Just let me know. We're going to make it happen. If you want to make him put on a Tarboro helmet, One week, the North Nash Heaven next week. Whatever you guys want, let me know, because I need help with this. Daryl, we got some good picks. Round one.
Good picks. Round one, playoffs. Let's go.
Playoffs. Here we go. Round one, right there in 1A. Howard, 4-6, hosting 1-6 Columbia.
Give me Howard on this.
I got to go Howard on this when they get their first playoff win in the North Carolina High School Athletic Association High School Conference right here. Our next one, Daryl. Washington County versus North Edgecombe. Now, 3 weeks I go in Washington County. I've been going down to Plymouth. They let me down week 1, but they didn't let me down week 2 and 3.
I'm going Washington County.
I got to go with Plymouth, man. My boy Dennis told me about Washington County. I'm sticking with the fans of Washington County. Our next one, Daryl, will be right here in 1A football, Northwest Halifax versus Union. Mike's been playing good football. That's why they got to the playoffs.
Give me Northwest Halifax.
I got to go Northwest Halifax. They get another round, another win. Another week to play.
Yeah.
Princeton versus Bettyfield. Somebody got to go play basketball.
I'm not going to say. I'm just going Princeton. I'm going Princeton. I ain't even going to say, because you already know.
I'm going Princeton. Sorry, Bettyfield. Sorry, Bettyfield. I am sorry. I turned my back over school this year. I'm sorry. I got to go Princeton. Go Princeton. Princeton had to get in there. Southwest Edgecombe, my favorite Cougar versus Southwest Onslow. Good game.
Good game. I think Southwest Edgecombe is going to be playing.
Hosting.
I'm going Southwest Edgecombe.
Southwest Edgecombe to continue their season and not start playing basketball. Give me the Cougars. Our next game, Daryl, is Leadford coming to Clinton. Buck Sweet Sports, we see you. They are back. Buck Sweet Sports, get in that chat box. Let us know they back. Them horses are Clinton.
All right, I'm going Clinton.
Daryl.
Playing some good football.
We've been down to Clinton for a playoff game. Leadford, if you've never been there, you won't forget it. They are loud, and when that wind is blowing, all them flags waving, them black gold flags,
going on.
And you hear that horse rearing up in the herd. You better watch out, because them horses coming. Give me Clinton for the win.
What's the horse doing?
Got that horse sound effect. We don't buy sound effects. We bring our own sound effects to the green ground. Eastern Alamance versus Fike. Fike coming off a tough loss, but a game that they were able to get back in.
They definitely was able to
go back to that. They made it a game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And in that fourth quarter, a lot of people got worried. I got some Texas. I got some Texas.
I'm going Fike. I'm going Fike.
Fike for the win. Fike gets to round 2. Fike's a good team over there. Good team. JFL want to share their conference. They get to host Pearson, the Rocks of Houston versus the Warriors of JFL. JFL has not had hosted a home playoff game since 1998.
Whoa. I am definitely going JFL on this. Again, last year they was, I think, 4-7. This year they turned it around, 7-3, won the conference. I'm going JFL for the win.
Give me Coach G and the Warriors to win this game and send everybody in Oxford home with a smile. JFL for the win. Our next one down, West Carteret versus CB ACOT. ACOT not having the season of the air raid offense that we like to see, but they were able to get in. Tough non-conference game, tough conference game. Playing a tough team.
I'm going to say they're playing a tough team.
Tough team.
Give me West Carteret.
I got to go West Carteret on this one. J.H. Rose versus Triton. J.H. Rose gets to host this game. Coming off a tough loss last week.
Last week, tough loss down there. I mean, I think Coach Bland's going to have the guys ready to play playoff games, getting it back in the mix. Everybody's 0-0. I'm going J.H. Rose for the win.
Going J.H. Rose. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Rose is one of those teams where they win one playoff game, they win another. They win another. And the next thing you know, it's round 4. And they sit there, you're like, where'd they come from?
That's it.
Our next team, South Granville, who said we had to win to get in. So that last week against JFL was the play-in game for them to get to this game.
And they was able to get in, beat a good JFL team.
Good JFL team. Got to go play West Alamance.
West Alamance is a really good team.
A good team. West Alamance wants to come cover them next season. So we're coming that way, West Alamance.
Give me West Alamance on this.
Bad as I want to take Granville on this one because I think they're riding on an emotional high right now, an emotional way, beating well, getting in the playoffs, just playing good.
Right.
West Alamance sneaks away with a very, very close win. This is going to be close.
It's going to be
close.
This
is going to be close.
All right.
Our next game, South Johnson 7-3 versus the Vipers of Vance County. The Vipers have to lead Henderson and go down to 4-0 to play South Johnson. place.
Tough place to play, but
place.
South Johnson. Give me South Johnson.
I'm taking South Johnson on this one. Tough place for Vance County. Sanderson, 6-4, hosted a playoff game. Hosted East Wake, 3-7. Battled two good Raleigh teams in that little pocket up there.
Right in that little pocket. East Wake, you know, not the season that they wanted.
Started hot. Injury blood got them.
But they was able to get into the playoffs. But I think Sanderson is going to be a little bit too much for him. I'm going Sanderson on this.
I'm going Coach Buck and Sanderson for the win right here. I'm like you, Sanderson going to be a little too much for him in round one. Roseville versus Green Hope in Roseville.
In Roseville. This is going to be a really good game for that first round. Green Hope is a good team.
Green Hope is good.
Do not take them lightly.
Do not.
But Roseville, Coach Rat's got those guys playing some good ball. They have
said earlier, Daryl.
Last, what, 3, 4?
Yes, sir. They're on the 5-game win streak. And I said, this is the hottest team right now. Coming into the playoffs on a good win streak and getting those Kings games rolling now.
I'm going Roseville.
Roseville Rams for a win for me. Leesville Road versus Broughton. They're going to run it back. 2 weeks ago, Leesville Road beat Broughton in a tough game. Broughton hit them with everything they had. They just couldn't pull away in the fourth quarter.
This is just going to be a tough game. Playoff, you just played a team a couple weeks ago.
You did.
And you're right back playing
Play
them
again.
Give me, I'm going to go Broughton. I'm going Broughton.
You going with the Cavs?
I'm going with the Cavs.
You going with the Cavs?
I'm going Broughton.
You know I always pick Leesville Road to win this game. But guess what, Daryl? I'm rolling with the Caps on the upset.
What?
This is my upset win right here round one. The Caps upset Leesville Road, and you heard it first on the Grit and Grind. Let's go, Caps.
All right.
Now, Daryl, time for the Grit and Grind.
Prime time.
Game of the week, Panther Creek versus Enlow. We are going to be at that game covering both teams, Panther Creek and Enlow, so both of them are pretty much sponsors to the Grit and Grind by letting us put their helpers on the show and letting us talk about them. So we won't make a pick on this game, but guess what? Drop your pick in the comment box. Now, our next game, Daryl. Green Central versus Wallace Rose Hill. Our marquee game.
Marquee game. This game, like I said, it's going to probably go back and forth. It's going to be close. Both teams are coming into the playoffs playing good football.
Good football.
I'm going to go Green Central on this, though.
Green Central gets a win.
Yeah.
Green Central gets a close win and gets to round 2. Those Rams are ready. Now, Daryl, our next game right here, Nash Central versus Roanoke Rapids, the Battle I-95. They're going to run it back right here for us. Good game between two good programs. We enjoy covering both of these programs on the Grit and Grind.
And with these two teams, like Coach Lyons was saying, you find a way to be in the playoffs playing each other almost every year.
3 years in a row.
Yeah, 3 years in a row. A couple years ago, Nash Central went regular season, had to go up there and get a win to get in the playoffs. Give me Nash Central for the win on this one, though.
Just because in Nash Central the dog pile, I'm taking the home team Nash Central to win this game. Don't be shocked if the Yellow Jackets of Roanoke Rapids have a close game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Those are our picks right here. Like we said, it's round one. A lot of the teams we cover are having buys, so they'll be back on the picks next week. We want to thank you for watching the Grit and Grind, but also, if you do not see your helmet on the Grit and Grind, just because it's playoffs, don't mean you can't send me your helmet.
You still can send a helmet.
Coast to coast, post to post, from Manio to Murphy, the Grit and Grind will cover it all. That's what we do on the Grit and Grind. So even if your team is not in the playoffs and you're getting ready to put stuff up and you say, hey, we got an extra helmet, now's the perfect time to send it to the Grit and Grind, and we will be glad to talk about your team next season. And if your team is in the playoffs still playing, send us a helmet so we can talk about them on the Grit and Grind. Go to Grit and Grind Podcast NC. Reach out to us, and me and Daryl will find a way, whether you in Manio or Murphy or anywhere in between, to come get your helmet to put on our show. You got a home on the Grit and Grind. Now, Daryl, not only can you do that, but we need you to also do a favor.
What's that?
Go to Studio 67 NCC, where you're watching this live on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up and give us a thumbs up. We did it again. We needed 14. We got 14. So we're going to say it again. We want 14 likes this week on the Grit and Grind show. Also, go to Studio 67 NCC's Instagram and follow that so you can keep up with everything going on. Studio 67, whether it's the Grit and Grind, also all the other great content on Studio 67. And guess what, Daryl?
What's that?
You're in the car.
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm going to the game.
You're going to the game.
Yeah.
You heading to Panther Creek.
Headed right now.
To Cary.
Yeah, going to Cary.
Boy, that traffic gets rough on 540.
Yeah.
I've been fighting it 3 days coming from that school that I do not like to go to for a class up there. But you're fighting that traffic. And you're stuck in that traffic on 540. Don't watch the grit and grind and drive. We do not encourage that on this show.
Yeah.
But guess what you can do, Daryl?
What's that?
Go to Amazon Music and Spotify and search Studio 67, and you can get the audio version of Grit and Grind where you download it and hear the audio version to get you ready as you pull up to Panther Creek, Green Central, Wallace Rose Hill, Nash Central, or any other of these playoff games you'll be at this week. You can hear the Grit and Grind on your way there. Daryl, I can't wait.
Can't wait to get out
Panther
there.
Creek and Enlow won the Grit and Grind. First ever Grit and Grind fans' choice game of the week where the fans pick where we're going. We're going to definitely be doing that some more throughout this season. That was fun this year. But before we leave there, I can't leave without saying one question. Do you have the grit?
And do you have the grind?
And we'll see you at round 1 of the playoffs right here on the Grit and Grind.